Hey everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Queen's Wish 2. And oh, if only I was actually using a face cam that I could now point at my sleeping cat next to me. So cute. Oh well, you're missing out, but what can you do? But back to the game. I did a couple of things. So I did buy the apothecary, which I might or might not have done on camera last time, and I took another look at available runes, and I ended up putting a curse resist rune into this tower shield. I don't know if I realized that I already had a 20% curse resist in the necklace, but it's a useful thing to have. And I mean, there aren't really that many that useful things available. I could have increased, physical armor by another point, but, it seems kind of insignificant at this point. And, yeah, either way, curse resist seems like a good thing. For her, I went with +1 to magical damage, which was actually available. I think might actually have been available pretty much from the beginning of the game. I just didn't really have, well, a slot for it up to now. So now we have that. Also not exactly very significant, but better than nothing for sure. Oh, you know what? I completely forgot about these slots here, so I guess I'm gonna take that opportunity to take another look and remind myself, which, this has been like 2 days or so. Mental resist, well, yeah, the thing is, obviously mental resist is not really gonna be particularly important anymore in the not too distant future. Not too distant, especially because I actually also made some changes to skill composition or skill distribution, as I'm going to show in a moment. Healing spells obviously only interesting for our healer. I actually did upgrade both his healing runes to these slightly better ones, and he actually has now, I believe, a plus 55% to all his healing spells, which seems pretty good. These 3% evasion things just don't strike me as worth the money or the slot, so I basically just didn't go for those. Yeah, the slightly better speed bonus obviously is still a little ways off. The slightly better physical armor, well, twice as good, to be fair, but, still 2 physical armor. Not exactly super exciting. This 10% bleed and poison resist is obviously something that I'm planning to get eventually. Maybe even the extra stun resist, although, again, with that recently unlocked Resolve of the Row, was it? We're basically going to be close to the cap, which, by the way, seems to be 90%, I believe. And anyway, it looks like I should, with the full 60% from that, which I did quickly, briefly unlock just to see how high I would get. I should have been at 100 or even over 100% on someone, but it actually capped out at 90%, so it seems like that's going to be it. But yeah, I think we will not actually have any use for even more stun resist either. So, yeah, or mental resist, of course, for that matter. So, yeah, bleed and poison, though, those I'm probably gonna end up using at least once for each character once I get access to it. Now, long story short, what do we get for her? I guess maybe just some extra speed. I could give her extra bleed and poison resist. Actually, she has the highest already because of, well, the highest poison resist for sure because of this very thing. Oh, and also extra poison resist from this ring. Kind of, No, it's fine for now. Blessing spells, I mean, she doesn't use blessings at all. It's tough, I don't know. There's not really anything super amazing. I guess I can give her... She does have the weakest defense, so I suppose an Iron Augment. Sure, why not? And some speed bonus. Because why not? Again. Oh, we get a report. Some minor theft. Don't care too much about wood or stone, thankfully. Right. Okay, so we still have 1 iron left, which is not amazing, but... well, we're gonna fix that in, shortly, hopefully. Sell installments. There we go. Focus on what I want to do here. I'm gonna put in those things. Thank you. Now, I actually took another look at my skills, and I ended up giving almost everyone one level of resolve of the row. And you can see the effects already. I mean, we're up to 70% mental resist, and I guess also a really good amount of stun resistance, even on our on our mage, just like that. I did not actually give him this because he's just so struggling with. He's by far struggling the most with where to put all his points. Like, right? We want to actually. Why did we want this? I guess for the 20% passive resistances from this, for the most part. That is definitely very useful. Plus some extra health. Well, I mean, obviously, only 2. Not really a big deal. Yeah, the biggest thing, obviously, is that we basically never use these skills. We just needed to put these 4 points in to get up to this energy bonus. Plus, of course, the access to arcane items, which is kind of necessary, unless I want to... well, I mean, I guess I have to give him either magic or combat, so he can wear any kind of armor, right? And obviously, caster equipment makes more sense if I want to play him as a straight-up healer / supporter. So, yeah, unfortunately, those points have to go in here. Then, of course, I want as many in here as possible, and there are still things that I'd like to unlock. Plus, of course, I would really like to give him Resolve of the Row, and I will. And it's not like he's... Well, he already has the highest mental resist as it is, so he's going to be fine for one more level. I'm pretty sure the next point is going to go in there. Anyway, for everyone else, so for him, I took away a point. Yeah, actually, I took away 1 point of Haven's Command, which is going to reduce our damage a little bit. I'm not really sure how much of a bonus we got from this in the first place, but I figured, temporarily I can take away 1 level and give him this very powerful 1 level of Resolve. For him here... Oh, and also, I switched over from this level 1 healing to the passive, because, well, he does have this healing spell now, right? So, might as well have a chance to have that free and give him another opportunity to attack that same combat round, for example, because I wasn't really probably going to use healing a whole lot. If I'm gonna use him for emergency healing, basically I'm gonna use Haven's Mercy. Okay, should probably also try to remember what that's called, but yeah. So that was the reasoning there. Obviously, I still want to have 1 point in here for the free evasion. That's helpful for sure. For him, I kept this, and I took away 1 point of row wears down, which is only another 10% chance to slow down enemies. This was never particularly useful or particularly powerful, I guess, to begin with. But I figured I'd keep it around at least, but give him 1 level of resolve, which is definitely more powerful. In fact, I mean, I should really just give up on this for the time being, give him 2 levels of resolve. But again, we're already very, very well protected here. For her, I also gave her 1 of those levels, and I took away something. I took away 1 level of Poison Rain, actually, because, well, it's already, with the special bonus we have, it's already at level 2, and, I'm not really using it for max damage. If I want to use max damage, I'm going to go for Fireball. Obviously, it's still pretty good. It's only a 10% loss on damage there. Again, it's only temporary, and we're already more than halfway to the next level. So, there we go. Long, very, very long story. Short. That was what I did. And yeah, that only took like almost 9 minutes. No big deal. Now, I actually changed my mind a little bit. And I'm now planning to do something that I hadn't even been considering. We are going to go to Jajayim. However, I'm actually not going to talk to either the mayor, or not mayor, the Rasa, or the governor. Partially because I'm not really feeling like doing that much talking, but also because I'm really only interested in quickly grabbing 1, maybe 2 nearby resource producers, maybe some other minor quests, and just out on the world map or something. But I don't really want to get into the local main storyline yet. Partially because, well, it's going to take a while, and I want to focus on I don't want to spread too thin, basically, and I want to focus on 1 major issue at a time, and obviously we've already started on the Kranis. And also because, well, if I'm going to return to the Kranis before actually dealing with the problems here, some time is going to pass, and I'm just not going to remember all the details about what exactly was going on if I'm talking to everyone here and then, return to the Kratos for, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 episodes, who knows. So yeah, we'll just basically take Jajayim in 2 portions. I'm gonna probably visit everyone and everything except for the governor and the Rasa. Several armed Lethans are patrolling the road here. They don't want to talk, but they stand politely off the side. Okay, that's good at least, that they're not attacking us. Hello? Okay, I guess we're gonna have to deal with something here before we can make it to Jajayim. But yeah, anyway, so I'm gonna talk to basically everyone to try to pick up as many quests as possible without actually going to the main story places. And then, once I'm ready to actually spend some more time here, I'm gonna, finish off talking to those. That's the plan for now, anyway. The road near the river is a muddy mess. Only the old stones of the pilgrimage road make the journey tolerable. Unfortunately, the road is blocked here. A handful of Lethan warriors stand in the road, blocking your path. They are old soldiers well past their prime. Their blades are not yet drawn. They scowl at you, uninterested in conversation. When you try to move past them, they shift to block your path. Okay. Uninterested in conversation, but also not immediately interested in combat. Should we just try to walk around them? Walk in the mud? I mean, I feel like we should at least ask them what they're doing, One of them growls, "This is Lethan land, pure land. You are an outsider, a tormentor. You enter with humility. You don't walk on the pilgrimage road. It is for us. You're being tested. Your mother would be infuriated to see such insolence from a vassal. I mean, everyone would be rightfully infuriated by this kind of behavior. But I'm not going to just slaughter these guys even though they're insolent. Honestly, I'm a little bit tempted to, but no, we're trying to be diplomatic here. So, let's swallow our pride and just walk through the mud. When you leave the road and step into the mud, you instantly sink. 6 inches of sticky goop hold you in place. The High Lethans on the road point at you and laugh. That is honestly just seeing if we're humble enough and willing to prove that we're not above, getting a little bit dirty. That's one thing. But pointing and laughing at us? Why? That seems completely unnecessary. They back off and watch from a distance as you pull yourself out of the mess. As you regain solid ground, they turn and leave, laughing as they go. You suspect that the story of this encounter will spread. I really wanted a chance to get back to the road and confront them about that, rather than just let them get away. Because I really feel like killing them right now. Probably a silly thing to kill someone over, but, I guess, in the game at least, I've killed for less than that, for less of an insult. Well, the game is really testing me, for sure. Testing my patience here, my tolerance for bullshit. But, it's fine. Let's just forget about that until we are going to be reminded, because the story has obviously spread. Oh well, you're on the outskirts of Jajayim, the largest city in the High Letha. It's an ancient clump of stone buildings, crumbling and neglected, hiding at the base of a tall cliff. You see few people wandering its streets. Makes sense, it's pretty cold. It's a pale shadow of the prosperous wild rose cities of the south. This is where you're likely to find Haven's governor and the Letha's Rasa. You can continue to obey your mother's wishes. Oh, great. Not gonna do that, though. Not immediately. You enter the High Letha city of Jajayim. It is an old settlement. Crude buildings have been built here, crumbled and rebuilt for centuries. The air is cold and the ground is dusted with snow. Few people are foolish enough to spend time outside. Well, actually, there are quite a few people out here. The High Lethans are a poor, odd, and remote people. For all you heard of the row growing up, you know almost nothing about them. There is a large stone hall, worn and crumbling, at the base of the cliff wall to the north. That must be the Rasa's hall. Haven's governor must be here too, although you can't immediately tell which rundown shack represents your empire. Actually, I can tell perfectly fine because of the scroll symbol, and, apparently there's even a shield. Yep, a shield. Oh boy, a sign, of course. Classical blunder there. Oh well. Trader Dalmal, wait. Hello. You're surprised to find one man walking out in the cold. Well, again, not the only one, but sure. He's inspecting the piles of finished stone blocks by the dock. Heavy cargo like this is carried on barges up the rivers of the Rokaj. Some of it survives the rapids. When the man sees you, he shouts a cheerful greeting. He's not a local. He runs up to you. Welcome, Prince Atantuo of Haven, son of Darmal. My name is Darmal of the Low Daga. I greet you with open arms, clan cousin. Again, huh? Is he actually going to be a real cousin? I mean, I suppose the name does suggest that, perhaps. Clan cousin? Yes. In the eyes of the Rokaj, you and I are kin. Sort of, in a way. So how far removed are we? So you're from my clan? Oh no, I wouldn't dare claim that. No, not long before your father was born, our clan split. Still kin, still closely allied, but following separate fortunes. Our clans are cousins. We are allies. Thus I welcome you as near to kin, honored prince. I would never presume on this to ask for favors, though part of the reason I'm here is to look for help. Okay, I mean, I'm never gonna say no to a quest. Well, not usually anyway. So about your clan, Darmal says, we're still in the Low Daga. We're stoneworkers and builders, a highly honored trade in our lands, as you may know. We are prosperous, I'm happy to say. Your name is Darmal. I have the honor of the same name as your father. Many in the Low Daga are named after him, the Ro who mastered Haven. That is a very odd way to look at it, but you see no reason to argue the point. Okay. If you say so, game. Where's my father's clan? They are outside the Rokaj. After Darmal died, may his spirit rest, there was some resentment against them. It is complicated. They took their weapons and wealth and went into the wilds of the east, to form a new city. I should meet them. I'm part of the Ro. Yeah, I guess. I'd like to, but don't think that's going to happen. They will be honored by your interest. Perhaps someday you will, when your current work is done. Well, we'll see. What brings you to the Hylitha? A number of our clan came. I am in Jajayim on business. I'm looking for patrons, Hylithan clans of wealth, who wish to buy our building skill. They are always asking for what we can provide, and, well, what we can't. And, well, what we can't. What do they want that you can provide? Good solid stone buildings. Good mortared bricks that keep out the cold and resist quakes. Our buildings don't just bring beauty and status. They bring health. It's cold, you know. What do they want that you can't do? They want walls to defend their clans and cities. Nice, easily defended stone fortifications. However, Haven's law prevents us from building them. Except for your forts, of course. And yet they keep asking. Yes, a lot more recently. The raids that have been happening will make more asks still. It is strange. I mean, it's not really strange, it's perfectly understandable. And frankly, a pretty stupid rule, as I may have pointed out before. But oh well. I have another question. Your clan needs help. We do. It will seem like a small matter to you, and I don't want to act like a poor, begging relation. Well, yeah, we've had a couple of those before. Well, perhaps I can help, though. He perks up. I will tell you what is wrong, then. I did not come upward alone. Several of my clan came with me, bearing the ashes of Gresh. He was our clan leader. Now he is dead. He was brought to be placed in the common catacombs. Go on. The spirits are strong in the catacomb. Sometimes they refuse to accept the unworthy, and they must be challenged. We never thought this would happen with Gresh, a proud warrior of the Low Daga. His name is without stain. Yet the Shade turned us away. My clan is there now, trapped outside, unsure what to do. And do we really need to ask? What can I do about it? The Shades must be challenged, bravely, armed, in the way of the Ro. We just don't have the strength. You do, clan cousin. You can help our leader rest where he should. Am I related to Gresh? I mean, I guess, distantly? Oh, well, let's think about it. Thus ensues a long conversation with lots of lists of relatives and attempts to define eighth cousin. Eventually, you must conclude that you have no idea. Well, fair enough, I guess. So, the common catacombs? It is west of here, marked by signs. It is a large tomb for the dead from downward who were honored and honorable Ro, but not great heroes. And you need to fight to prove yourself to the Shades? There needs to be a challenge. There can be battle, but not always. The challenger does, however, have to be kin in some way. Happily, clan cousins count. Okay, we'll see if the Shades think that way. Well, I guess we have that quest now, you know. Doesn't necessarily sound like one that's going to give us resources, but then again, it might. Well, maybe not building resources, but maybe some of these, you know, upgrade resources, which would be nice as well. Always need more of those. Jajayim is built at the base of a tall cliff, which protects the town from the worst of the icy winds. The Rasa's hall is to the north. There is a huge courtyard in front of the hall. This place must be used for significant events. Large crowds of people come together to meet. For what, you aren't sure. Market, maybe? Now the broad expanse is empty. Wisps of snow blow across the stone. While you're here, the Leathans hide in their homes, watching you through the windows. Ominous. Jajayim Mercantile. Okay, that's where I'm definitely expecting to get at least one quest. We have a baker, apparently. Okay. Oh, that's just Sharyn's Inn. Fair enough. Another likely place to, get quests. Hello? Dog? Bark. Bark, bark. Okay. Is this the open expanse? Oh yeah, I guess it was talking about this one here, huh? The pool in the middle. Kind of nice, I guess. What is this? This is the Rasa's Hall. No big surprise there. This is the Mist Talker's Hall. Ah, yes. Those are kind of important, I suppose. I also happen to be on a quest here. I was supposed to ask around for something. The Dark Apothecary. Ah, yes, the package that got lost. Right. Ask around in Jajayim. Probably in the inn, if I had to guess. Okay, this was, yeah, Miss Talker's. This is just a random home that I didn't even mean to click on, but I guess I did. Okay, cool. Nothing there as expected. Nothing here either. And here we have the Erudico. Ah, yes, okay. Well, might as well start here. Erud Oksana. Okay, just checking, no one else, alright. This long hall, safely out in the corner of Jajayim, contains an Erudico workshop. It is full of sparks, hisses, little beasts in cages, and foul-smelling smoke. A young Hylethan Erud emerges from the mist to see who is visiting. She inspects you without great concern. A visitor. Greetings. This is the hall of the Jajayim Erudico. I am Erud Oksana. You wait for her to say more. In vain. Oh. What else is there to say? What do you do here? She looks at your armor and weapons. Nothing that would interest a warrior. Humor me. We make potions and salves and alchemical reagents. We keep records. Oh, I find those things extremely interesting. Well, no, not really. What sorts of potions do you make? The potions used to make other potions. We also produce the Clarity Brew, the drink that brings clarity. We have none to spare. It all goes to the Tower of the Erudico. Yeah, figures. What sort of records? History, treaties, tales of clans. Very important to the Hyletha. Why are they so important? We are the Hyletha. We keep the deep truth of the Rokaj, and we judge those who stray from it. To do this job correctly, we need to study a lot of history. Okay. Tell me about the Erudico. We are the learners. She tries to decide how to elaborate, but she soon gets very frustrated. Go back to the Tower of the Erudico. They are explainers. Okay. You produce Quicksilver here? She didn't say that, but the Hylethans make and trade Quicksilver. Our equipment here is for experiments. We produce quality Quicksilver in quantity at our mine. Or we did. We have had troubles. Aha, now we're talking. Problems at the Quicksilver mine, you say? Color me intrigued. Yes, it has stopped producing. Bad for the work of the Erud. Perhaps I can help? For a perfectly reasonable little share? She thinks about this. We call it our foundry. It is west across the river. If you offer help, we can pay. They can tell you more. They need to help get the ore. Yes. What is keeping you from getting the ore? Monsters. Ah. Figures, I guess. Okay, well, thanks. I suppose that's all we need from you. And exactly what I was hoping for. Well then, next up, I guess we're gonna talk to the Mist Talkers. Mist Talker Yaros. There's an old man sitting cross-legged in front of one of these statues. At first you think he's just being quiet and reserved. Then you see that he's exhausted, barely staying awake. There's a bandage on his arm. A hearty meal has been laid out before him. When you walk up behind him, he snaps awake. Maybe we shouldn't have been sneaking up from behind. Though he doesn't turn to look up at you. Haven, he says slowly. I thought you would come. I'm Mist Talker Yaros. Our Rasa would want me to explain our ways, so I will. I'm sure you want knowledge. Sure, always. Tell me about Misttalkers. The High Letha is a burial land of the Rokaj. It is a land of ghosts. They come to wonder, or give us wisdom, or torment us. Some of us have the gift of understanding them. Misttalkers. We talk to the shades. We tame the shades. Only your kind can deal with the shades? Well, only his kind can talk with them, I guess, but we've been dealing with them, of course, but in a slightly more, well, violent way. Only our kind can do so and remain under control. Any of us can face a shade. The High Letha has many tales of how badly that can go. Misttalkers can face them. Could I learn how to do that? Yarrow slowly shakes his head. The mountain folk are the heart of the Ro. The shades respect only us. Well, so you say. How did you become a mist talker? I proved myself at a young age. I found a lost, crying ghost in the mist. She kneeled to me. I comforted her. That was when all knew what I would be. For a second there, I thought you might be talking about that guy's sister, but I suppose that would have been too long ago, obviously. So you talk to the shades. I talk to them. Sometimes they talk back. Hear what they say. I caution them. I learn their lessons. Do many shades roam the High Letha? Not always. Usually they rest. In times of uncertainty, more come out. He looks down at the bandage on his arm. Of late, there have been many shades. They're angry. That is why so few Misttalkers are here. They are all out calming the dead. What do you learn from the shades? Shades are like people. I guess they used to be people, right? They have opinions. Lots of opinions. If one feels so strongly about something that they return from the dead to say it, it's wise to at least listen. Are all shades helpful? No. No, some are dumb. However, some carry great wisdom. If they are angry about the path the living are taking, we must listen to them. Maybe not obey, but listen. Do all shades talk? No. There are 3 sorts of shades. One is speakers, who we listen to. Once their message is given, they are eager to rest once again. What are the other 2 sorts of shade? They are the old ones, who have lost knowledge of speech. They have also lost thought. They are mad, and they must be returned to rest. He looks at his wounded arm. This can be difficult. Then there are magical constructs, who are not spirits of the dead. These can be, well, anything, really. Helpful or harmful. Okay. Wasn't there more to talk about here? No, I guess not. Okay. So you tame the shades. Or you try to, I guess. It is necessary sometimes, especially lately. The shades have grown angry of late. When a shade would harm the living, it must be returned to rest. Hurting the living is not allowed. Are all shades helpful? Wait. No, it's not. What? We had the same option under the other dialogue tree branch, whatever? No, some are dumb? Okay. Oh, interesting. So you tame the shades. What was your last mission? Misttalkers do not share our craft with outsiders. Okay. But you do need help with something, right? Is it draining work? When we talk and learn, it is true joy. When we must punish those who are lost forever to rage, it is exhausting and painful, though there is satisfaction in protecting the living. Do you ever get help from outsiders? Now a long awkward pause. Yes, but rarely. Only in special circumstances. Though one of those circumstances has arisen. We can discuss it more. Thank you. Wait. So we are forced to ask that again? Okay. I hope... Wait. We can't discuss that more, you said. You could use help from an outsider. Yes, okay. So now that has changed. Weird. Weirdly structured this dialogue is, as Yoda would say. There's one place where the shades are particularly angry. They emerge from the stone, desiring nothing but blood. Their rage is directed at Haven. The presence of Haven draws them out. That is worrying. I'd better not get involved. Wow, really? What? No, explain, of course. To the west is an ancient fortress of the Ro. Hraxamus, it was called. When the Ro rose up in the Great Uprising, this was one of their last refuges? Refuges? I don't know. Haven destroyed the fort and killed all it found. The ghosts are still there, lost to rage, ready to kill at random and then hide in the rock. I think a Havenite can actually pull them out of hiding and destroy them. Okay. You would destroy the spirits of rebels? Not destroy, return to rest. They cry and cry for rebellion. The long peace has enraged them enough that they even kill Ro. This can't be tolerated. How can I draw out the ghosts? Just wander in the ruin. I am confident that they can't resist the lure of Havenite blood. Oh, good. And you just want me to destroy the ghosts of the rebels? Well, not destroy. Yeah. Return them to rest. Although it's functionally identical. Though doing this requires blows and fire. If their leader emerges to confront you, you can break these spirits forever. It is sad but necessary. They are heroes, after all. And my only answer here is I don't see them that way. That seems rude, even if I think so. Why would I be forced to say this? I guess I could probably just escape out of this conversation. But sure. Understandable. Well, at least he didn't really take offense. However, they died for what they saw as the deep truth of the Rokaj. In this land, they will always be honored. Okay, fair enough. Let's see if there's anyone else. Letha townsperson, you look kind of... No, never mind. I don't know, when I first saw her, it looked like she was kind of weirdly green-skinned or something? I guess not. Okay. Not sure what I saw there. Maybe just a trick of the light. Okay, I didn't see anyone else. Hope I didn't miss them. If there was someone. Kieran Stoff? Okay. Hello. This man's nice clothes and probably cut hair make him stand out painfully in the inn. He is a man of the gentle coast, eating and drinking alone in a corner, growing increasingly angrier. When he recognizes you, he cheers up instantly. He motions for you to join him. This is an honor, such an honor. I can barely... Sorry, I'm Kieran Stoff, of the High Letha, but recently of the Gentle Coast. Here in Jajayim for trade and help. I'm glad for company. I'm not good enough for the Lethans to talk to me, as you can see. I am a Prince of Haven, as I'm sure he is aware. Kieran takes a swig from his drink. Really? And yet you came to this icy waste? You must be forced to be here. Okay, maybe he wasn't aware. That is true. I mean... Again, weird how I'm not even given any options here. I guess technically I'm kind of forced to be here, but I also, well, whatever. Well, at least you get to leave eventually. I can't go until I prove a success to my clan. Okay. You seem upset. Of course, I can only take so much. I have traveled all over the Rokaj. I serve my clan. I bring wealth. In return, I get nothing but contempt, just because the Gentle Coast knows how to dress well and pay attention to the world. How do the other provinces treat you? The other provinces. Like something they scraped off of their shoe. They're nothing compared to the High Letha, though. How do the High Lethans act? To the mighty, wise, arrogant High Lethans, the Gentle Coast are the lowest. They think we have no deep truth. They think we are outsiders, not Ro at all. Maybe not even human. And you? You've been to my home. What did you think? What did you think? You suspect that the other patrons, loud as they are eavesdropping. I'd rather not say. I'm gonna keep my own deep truth. Honestly, that might be the proper reaction here. Although I'm not sure if they're gonna take it that way. The Gentle Coast is weak and soft. Gentle Coast is the only civilized part of the Rokaj. Wow. Pretty extreme stances to take with no middle ground here. In the interest of gaining the trust of the locals, I should maybe pick option number 2. Although I don't necessarily think that way, but that would obviously anger him. You know what? I'm curious what this is going to do. I'd rather not say. Kieran Stoff shakes his head and leans forward. You don't want news to spread that you're a coward, do you? Excuse me? If you want to own the Ro, you owe us plain talk at least. Except that you are famous for never telling the truth to an outsider. Why would I be different? This is really dumb. Okay, you know what? Because I feel like angering one person is, is the better alternative rather than angering basically the entire province, who is going to be the toughest to gain the trust of anyway, right? The Gentle Coast is weak and soft. Sure. I appreciate your honesty, yet the Gentle Coast is the only place in the Ro that truly values and respects Haven, not just on the surface. That's the justice of the world for you. Okay. Well, he was not nearly as offended as I thought he would be, but, well, in fact, he apparently wasn't offended at all. Interesting. But I guess we just set some important flag for later. You mentioned that you're looking for help, if you're still willing to take my help. We are, and we will pay a hearty bounty for it. My clan has a new quicksilver mine on this miserable peak. Awesome, that's what I like to hear. The Oravera claim, however, it is troubled, overrun. Of course it is. Tell me about the Oravera claim. Like every mine, cave, and remote outpost in the High Letha now, it is full of angry ghosts. They're everywhere, like cockroaches. We need to drive them out if we're going to get proper value out of our mine. The Misthawkers won't help, so we need mercenaries. Perhaps, lofty as you are, our quicksilver might be valuable to you. What did the Misthawkers say? Yeah, isn't that their job? They say they will come and help. I don't believe them. We're from the Gentle Coast. They enjoy it when we suffer. But they don't enjoy when spirits are, restless and in need of calming. Maybe they really are too busy right now? Well, I don't know. Tell me about the Shades. What do they say? Nothing. They're the old sort. Very old. All their humanity is gone. They just run around and break things. They aren't very dangerous, but there are a lot of them. Okay. How did you anger the Shades? Just by being there. They're not big thinkers. However, when we dug a new shaft, we did sort of break into their caves. We found a very old crypt. That will take some dealing with. Okay. Well, thanks for another quest. Let's see here. Arid Foundry? Wait. Trouble with the old mine. Arid Foundry? Roxana's Ruins looks like it's very deep in, very, very clearly in the Kranitz Woods, but I guess it's not. Maybe it's just completely inside the mountain, I suppose, and the entrance is just slightly on the High Lethan side. Common Catacombs is there, of course. Oravera claim is down there. Okay, Arid Foundry. Trouble at the old mine. Let me just remind myself real quick, because I know I just picked that quest up, but that was from Oksana. Oh, did she mention the name Arid Foundry? Because I just didn't remember that at all. I mean, obviously, I assumed that because it was called that it would be the quest I got from the Erudico, but... Ah, yes, okay. Makes sense. Oh, hello, Sharyn. The Inn of Jajayim is a loud, boisterous place. High Lethans are crowded around you, drinking fermented goo, listening to music, shouting and getting into good-natured fights. It is a strong contrast to the dour, serious Lethans you see everywhere else. Despite constant shouts for his attention, the innkeeper pays close attention to you. He saw the insignia on your shoulder. He knows who you are. It's an honor to have such a glorious guest here. I'm Sharyn, and this is my inn. Business is good. No, normal, I think. Most outsiders think we Lethans are always quiet, feel no joy, yes? But we are people. We have all parts of life. Well, good for you. Some of which happens here. Yes, our people come into town, trade, news, meet with other clans, so on. Then they come to the inn, celebrate living. How often do High Lethans come into town? Folk up here stay close to clan, and travel is hard. Still, every Lethan tries to visit town at least twice a year. Helps to stay part of the row. What else do people do for fun up here? Depends on clan. Some clans serious, grim. Others sing every night. We have many sorts. Same as all places. He runs off for a moment to tap a keg. Okay. What do you sell? We do all normal inn business. Bed and sustenance. Sustenance. I like that. You're an honored guest. Your money no good here. Oh. Okay. Well, we don't need rest, but thanks. I'd like to see your food and drink. Although I wouldn't mind paying for it. You're provided with as much inedible pub food and strange Lethan liquor as you desire. Everything you ingest makes the locals accept you a little more. Oh, nice. Well, in that case, maybe they'll somehow like if I accept their room? I guess I might as well, right? You don't sleep in Haven Hall? Well, grab a bed in our common rooms. Poor for you, yes, but Haven has its own ways. Okay, never mind. Well, I suppose I don't sleep immediately. I'm just free to go there if I want to. Heard any rumors lately? Of course, inns are places of learning as well as rest. I must apologize, Prince. Tradition is still tradition. For knowledge, I need a tip. Okay, sounds fair. I guess I'll consider that payment for the food and bed that I might or might not use. You count out the coins and hand them to the innkeeper. He nods. I am grateful. So, what have you learned? Rasa Suharum has traveled to the northern half of the Halitha. Oh, okay, so he's not actually even here. Interesting. Well, in that case, maybe I will at least visit the Rasa Hall to see if there is someone else there. I guess I was thinking about doing that anyway, just not talking to the Rasa or the governor personally. Right. He was recently briefly seen in Etzalam. He has been upward for far longer than usual, and he's shown no sign of returning. Okay, that's it? Anything else? Sounds fair. What have you learned? Oh, it's still the same, and yet he did take my money again. Interesting. I was hoping for to hear something about that package, the missing package, that we were told would have been, would have been noticed, because shipments from somewhere, shipments to, where was it again? An apothecary. From the Halitha. Oh. Yeah, anyway, she said that, I don't know, it would have caused some, would have drawn some attention, and thus someone would know about it. And obviously the inn seems like the most likely place to learn about, well, anything of, of note. These are townspeople, Trader Nadine. Don't mind me, just wandering around. I could steal these, technically, but not going to. Although, money is definitely looking a little bit more dire than only a short while ago. That's just how it's going to go, I guess. This trader is a young woman, shorter and more heavy-set than the folk of the Halitha. She wears a worn leather jerkin and pants unusually light for the cold climate. She must be from elsewhere, though the Lethans who come through the store don't seem to mind her presence. When you reach the counter, she says, "Welcome, traveler." She notes the insignia on your shoulder. "Havenite. I'm Trader Nadine, lately of Downward, but I've set up a useful little market here. Humble goods, but maybe useful? We'll see, I guess. How's business?" "It's very good. Much more than usual. The clans up here are stocking up. They are acting as if winter is close, though it is not. Strange. Yeah, maybe they know something, huh? A lot of caravans are coming through here. Supplying them is profitable." "Well, good for you." "Ah, yes, okay, of course. Well, I guess after the inn, the next most likely place to ask about shipments would be the trader, huh? "I'm looking for a package of herbs that was never delivered to Fort Precipice." "Okay." Quest advanced. You tell her about Sadrietta's situation. She's highly sympathetic. Losing medical herbs, that can be very painful. Let me check my records. She pulls a sheaf of scrolls out from under her counter and spends some time looking through them. Nothing, not a clue. However, the herbs were being shipped from upward. They would have had to pass through Etzalam, then here. They did not get here. I suggest asking around in Etzalam. What do you think that is? I have no guesses worth saying. I'm from the Kranis, so they see me as an outsider. I hear no secrets. Perhaps if I'm here 10 more years, one of them might trust me. Well, good luck. So, well, she literally just told us, but, so you're not from the Halitha? Not at all. I'm sure you know that, though. Everyone sees it instantly. I don't have the look. Where then? I'm from the Kranis Woods. I came up here to run caravans from upward to downward and back. I had good fortune and good success, as you can see. Do lots of outsiders come up here to work? All of our provinces mistrust and fear each other. We also need each other to survive. Clans are always sending out the young and adventurous to trade with other lands. What do you think of the Hylethans? They trade with us. They like our wood, our food, our goods. They also think they are superior to us. Things will change. What will change? The wealth Haven brings softens us all. The gentle coast might as well not be Row. The Kranis and the Low Daga hang on, but they are fading. Soon even the grim folk up here will eat dainties and wear stylish clothes. Gold changes everything. And not necessarily for the worse. So, anyway, I'd like to trade with you. Of course, it would be an honor, Haven. A bit of gratitude for all your empire has done for us. Okay. Maybe a little bit too enthusiastic here, but, better than the opposite, I suppose. Let me see what you have for sale. Let us see. What? Ice Drake leather. Right. 2 slots. Tier 1 armor. Not slowing down, obviously, so... Wait. I mean, it's obviously not nearly as protective, but it's interesting. It has the same absorption percentage as my medium armor, but I guess it's considered light armor? So if there was a tier 2 version of this that does not slow you down, that would be potentially interesting. Of course, this one only has 3 slots, but again, the tier 2 or higher version of this might actually have more slots, you know, the same as our current armor. Oh, yeah. So this one obviously is not really that interesting, but it could be. I could buy some deep metal. Not what I need the most, but I guess it might be worth buying, actually. You don't really get a lot of opportunities to just turn gold into these limited resources, so I guess I'm going to do that. Erudico staff. You have the enchanted staff. Right. It's actually the same... Yeah, wait. Erudico staff is considered tier 3. Wait. It's the same damage, though. Same effect. Same number of slots. It is considered a lot more valuable for some reason. I guess if the +1 magical damage is already factored into the staff blast damage for the enchanted staff, this one would end up being a little bit more powerful than that, but I mean really only by 1 point, so obviously not really worth the price. Still interesting though that it exists in the first place. Well, okay. That being said, I mean this is a tier 3, I guess, tier 3 of the non-standard variety. Non-standard, or, you know, not... I guess standard, I'm considering the things you can buy at your fort's shops, the standard. And we currently only have the tier 2 from the shop. And this one here is tier 3, but only very slightly better, I suppose. Only better by 1 point, I guess. If it's true that the +1 magical damage is not, you know, would be added to the damage displayed there. I think that's the case. That's the same. That's the case for physical damage, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, either way, obviously not worth buying. Erudico cowl. Yeah, that's not amazing, and obviously everything else is even worse than that, right? Iron Scourge, though? Wait, it's a main-end weapon. Okay, of course. Makes sense. Speed penalty? Huh, interesting. 10% chance to bleed, and even stun. I mean, that's honestly pretty powerful, but obviously at the cost of having no rune slots, and yeah, also the speed penalty is kind of rough. Interesting, but yeah, I guess I'm just gonna buy this because it's a unique opportunity. Don't think we have anything to sell, do we? No. All right, thanks. That's all I need. So no quest from you, but she did help with a quest, so I guess that's good. Well then, I guess we're gonna enter this place. Wait, this is the Rasa's Hall, right? I guess they would be here normally, maybe not. You enter the Hall of the Rasa. It's not what you expected. It's cold, dark, and empty. No guards, no workers. Nobody sees you enter. There's nobody here at all. Well, maybe one person. In the hall ahead, you hear a lone figure walking around. She hums quietly to herself. A lone sign of life. The lone sign of life. Okay. Watcher Juliana. I mean, obviously we've already heard that the Rasa is not in at the moment. Let's see here. Treaty of Vassalage. Yep, that's the same as everywhere else. Deep Truth. Also heard about that before, so I'm assuming it's the same book that we've seen before. Oh, can actually head upstairs here. Could steal that war axe for a small amount of cash. No, thanks. So yeah, we had heard, of course, that the Rasa is out currently. If we hadn't, we would learn it here. And I guess this is, well, I guess we're gonna meet the actual Rasa somewhere. Maybe in Atsalam, maybe not. But either way, this encounter with Juliana is basically the equivalent of the Rasa encounter that we would normally get, right? So it might still be rather lengthy and obviously trigger part of the main quest, which is exactly what I'm not interested in doing right now. So I'm just going to take a quick look at the Haven Hall. Ooh, this is extremely defensive. Hello? Order sprints? Yeah, open the gates for me, please. This is Haven's Hall in the Hyletha. As you enter, lines of guards rise. They are ready to greet you. There are a lot of guards. They salute you through massive iron bars and politely point their ballista away from you. Well, that's nice, at least. The town seemed quiet enough, but the soldiers defending your hall are heavily armed and highly alert. Interesting. Well, always ready, I guess. Council Vasilo. There's Governor Ivana. Okay. Oh. It's stuck in this position. That's bad. Sorry about that. I'm not going to talk to her now. The nature of the row. Haven learned long ago to study carefully the cultures and history of their vassal states. Understanding people well is necessary to manipulate them with peak efficiency. We might also have seen this one before. By any standard, however, the Rokaj is difficult to understand. These mountain folk have a quiet dignity and studious nature. They are inclined to keep to themselves and withstand the control of Haven quietly and obediently, until overnight they decide as a mass that they have had enough. Then they explode into great violence quickly and without warning. The Ro are among the most vicious, hardy, and ruthless fighters in the lands of Haven. The Rokaj are skilled in defending themselves in their mountain citadels. They've been conquered many times over the centuries. Their conquerors always leave in tatters. Anyone who wants to understand the Ro needs to start with this. One is a mountain. Every Ro's mind is a mountain with 3 levels. To the Ro, these levels are separate and disconnected in a way that can be hard for outsiders to understand. Okay, we might not have had that exact book before. Oh, no one else here. Oh, we can take these bows. I mean, don't mind if I do. These are not as good as longbows, unfortunately. No. Oh, she doesn't even have a bow out. Or she doesn't even have a bow equipped. I wondered, does the plus 5% critical chance apply only to attacks with this bow? Probably, right? I guess we can check that easily enough. And you, of course, have something better. Yes. Well, we can sell this. I mean, thanks, guys, for your contribution. Oh, we have something over here. Oh, that's locked. Maybe unlocked by doing some sort of quest somewhere. Okay. Now, again, I'm not going to talk to the governor, but maybe the council is going to tell me something. I guess I'm going to... Yeah, I'm going to give it a try. And I'm going to avoid talking about the governor, if at all possible, because I just want to, ignore the main quest here as much as possible for the time being. There's a young mage of the Haven army wandering around the hall. He must be a recent arrival. He still has a bit of a tan, and he looks cold. When you approach him, he turns and salutes. Your presence is thrilling. Greetings, Prince. I'm Consul Vasilo. I've recently been transferred here. Welcome to the very edge of Empire. He is holding a polished oak staff, and 2 wands hang from his belt. He's ready to fight. Okay. What is a consul? An assistant to a governor. Nice position. Gives advice. Does administrative stuff. Judges minor disputes. It's a good stepping stone to being a full governor, for those who want that. Though, I don't do much of that. I think Governor Ivana just grabbed me for different skills. Do I want to know more? What skills do you have? Yeah, I don't know. Again, I kind of want to skirt around the main quest here and learning anything, learning too much about the governor quite yet. Well, I suppose I did start talking to him, huh? I can always just repeat this conversation later to remind myself. So you advise the governor? I hope not. The governor doesn't want my advice. She's too experienced with these people for me to help. I only just got here. Okay. Why did you choose to come here? No choice about it. The governor decided she needed another mage, you see. One with my skills. She's been around a while. She's owed some favors. She heard about me. She sent some letters, and she got me hauled into the ice. Made me a consul because she didn't have one. What skills do you have? I'm a full battle mage of the Army of Haven, specialized in artillery and demolitions. I get sent where someone thinks there'll be a fight. And since you're here, well, I'm keeping rested and ready. Okay. I'd like to learn about the Hyletha. Well, not from you, I guess. So would I. I haven't been far beyond Jajayam and Fort Hailstone. I've been helping to set up an enchantment workshop in the fort. The governor wants all the magical resources she can get. Don't ask me why. Just tell me what needs burning. Okay, well, what's your area of expertise? Artillery and demolitions. Don't ask me for healing. Don't know the secrets of the ages. I bring fire and lightning, hopefully at a distance. Alright, I would like some training. I'm not a good teacher. I'm barely a good student. Plus, you're a prince. You have more resources than I. Don't be too sure about that. If you want to learn, I'd go back to the Tower of the Erodico. I hear they're doing some exciting crafting research there. Had to rush through when I came here. Hope to visit there someday. I had to do a lot of that. A lot of flinging fire and destruction, I guess. I've been in a few battles. Since the Queen got sick, Excuse me? The Queen is doing just fine. There have been a few minor rebellions. My fire helped keep them minor. You mentioned your mother very casually. Her illness must be universal knowledge by now. Okay. So that was not mistake. Wait, what's your area? Oh, interesting. So he didn't actually have anything interesting to say at all, or anything important, at least. Oh, excuse me. Completely forgot to open this gate forever. Is this actually gonna stay open? Yeah, interesting. Alright. Well, I guess that's all the quests then? Seems like it. Nothing that seems like it's gonna be outside. I guess we did have the Drake hunt that was just about here, I think. Yeah, pretty much. Surprisingly little going on in this corner, although, of course, we have not actually talked to the governor or the Rasa. Well, the Rasa isn't here, but neither the governor nor the Watcher, was it? Who's in the Rasa's hall. We would definitely have gotten some quests there. Obviously, there's a location here blocking us from heading further north. There's definitely going to be something over here. Maybe even something over here. But we do have quite some quests, including, well, the claim that has explicitly promised us some Quicksilver. So if I want to go after Quicksilver first and foremost, and I kind of do, I guess this is the one place to go to. The catacombs, yeah, I have no real reason to assume that we're going to get any Quicksilver there. I suppose the other place, the other Quicksilver place is obviously the Foundry. Yeah, that place at least produces Quicksilver, so I guess there's a decent chance that we're going to get some from there as well. Yeah, so maybe we're going to visit both of these places, which does require traveling through these lands quite a bit. But I guess that's not a bad thing. You know, unlocking fast travel for later. And all that. So, let's see here. 57 minutes on the clock. Do we have to do anything else? Ah, right, I thought there was something in the back of my mind that I wanted to check out. We do see our critical chance. Let's see. How's everyone's critical chance looking? 5%? 8%? We do have 3% rune. I guess 5 is the default. He's getting an extra 8% from somewhere. I guess from his weapon, maybe? Right, and she's up to 10%. Which makes me believe that the bow probably has something to do with that. Sure enough, okay. So does his bow not actually have crit chance? It does not. No, it does. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Does it, though? Ah, okay, so that's the difference. Crownless bow, offhand weapon, value 60, plus 5% crit chance. That's just a universal bonus, I guess. And then it has a basic attack. Right? Yeah, it's the same when it's equipped. Basic attack that does not have an extra crit chance built in. But this bow doesn't mention the crit bonus in the in the top part of the tooltip. But the longbow arrow specifically has a 5% crit chance built into it. So I suppose in the end it's the same then, I'm guessing. If he has a basic 5% crit chance and this attack has a 5% crit chance itself, I guess it probably does add up to a total of 10%. Just interesting that, you know, some bows give that bonus universally. Like, yeah. So he's benefiting from this extra crit chance even for his melee attacks, I'm guessing. And she's benefiting from it for her staff attacks, if not for her spells. I don't think spells can crit, can they? But staff attacks definitely can. And for him... Okay. So he's also not benefiting from this 5% crit chance from from the bow. Except for his bow attacks, but not for his melee attacks. So I guess if at all possible... Wait. It is possible, of course. I mean, this does deal less damage. But it would increase his overall crit chance. I guess I'm primarily gonna have him attack physically, or, you know, in melee, whenever I can. Okay. Right, so that should bring him to... that should bring him to 13% crit chance as well. Yeah, you know what? I think that's actually better. Alright, interesting. Learned something new again. Now, save the game. I've done quite a lot of talking here. And I guess we're gonna head on over to... well, it doesn't really matter, I suppose. You know what? The Emerald Foundry does sound more interesting than just another mine. So why don't we head on over there? Grab a few fast travel points along the way. Let's see here. Pilgrimage road north to east. Okay. Actually, I'm just curious. Oh, I don't know if I want to take a look at this. There does seem to be some kind of enemy there. Not really sure what that is, but that's something for sure. The northern and southern halves of the High Letha are separated by the Fangs of Judgment. I think we might have heard about that, at least in name. It's a small but imposingly walled fortress, completely blocking this pass. The mountains to the west are tall, jagged, windswept, and covered with sheer ice. The river to the east is freezing cold and full of rapids. This fort is your only route to the highest realms of the Rokaj. Yet this place is odd. It shouldn't be here. Since the Great Uprising, the Rokaj has been forbidden to build protective walls. Yet these barriers, centuries old, still stand proud, blocking your way. From here you can see that the gate is close to you. You will have to get closer to learn more. I really mostly wanted to put this on the map so I can fast travel to it. There we go. I'm not going to talk to anyone. But I do want to see if something happens here. No? So tempted to just get into fights, but nope. I'm resisting the temptation. There are some slimes there. Wonderful. Let's not deal with those. What is this place? What is this place? This is not the common catacombs? It doesn't look like catacombs for sure. I guess... Oh, these must be. Right? In the middle of the clearing ahead, you see a gigantic mausoleum. It's surrounded by campsites, mostly empty. People come here from all over the Rokaj to leave the remains of their more honored relatives. There are no guards. If you wanted to enter, you only need to walk in. Okay, there we go. Common catacombs, which of course we do have a quest for. There are more of these enemies, just not the green variety. I think that's the same as we saw up there by that other camp. Not really sure what those are supposed to be, but... well, we'll learn eventually. Let's see here. Erod Foundry north. Cracksummers Ruins west. Right. Yeah, that one as well. Actually, I kind of forgot about that, because it's so far off the map. Oh, hey. I did not see you guys at all. Let's see, level 10. Alright, so at least we're not under-leveled for these enemies here. That's good to know. Since I'm not really necessarily planning to do a lot of fighting quite yet, only here to discover more things. Really? Do we need to be even closer? There we go. A nice... okay, never mind. Spells totally can crit. I guess I must have known that before. It's just... huh. Yeah, I don't know why I thought they couldn't. Either way... might as well do some of this. Ouch. Okay, they got their turn immediately. Well, that's okay, I suppose. Can hit that guy. Not quite finish him off. Okay. I feel like I was in the middle of saying something, but then I forgot. Okay. Oh, you're a Sapphire Skeleton. I should have probably been paying attention. That would have allowed me to not take that damage. Not that it's a big deal. We can heal and maybe even get all that mana back. Yes, we sure did. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to discover this fortress like right now. Okay, Arxamis Ruins. Yeah, I mean, we're obviously not here. We're more like here, but, you know, the map is not the most accurate, I suppose. Got what looks like one of the withered Kronos groves here. And we got something up here that we... Unless that's the claim? No. What are you guys? Oh god. No, surely the area... the arrow foundry must be up here, right? And that's something else entirely. When you get close to the crumbling workshop in this northern valley, you start to see strange things. Squirrels with 3 tails. Tiny little slime blobs crossing the trail. Birds that watch you a little too intently. This means the presence of uncontrolled magic operated by the crazed and terminally irresponsible, which means the Erudico are nearby. Nice. Oh, hey, I did not actually mean to enter quite yet, necessarily. Although I think I want to do this area first. Maybe all I meant to mention earlier is that obviously I'm not really planning to do any of these things in this episode because, yeah, well, timer is a thing. I want to take a look at what's going on here, though. Hello? You see a band of young hunters of the High Letha. Ah, that's reminding me of a similar encounter, possibly similar in the Daga. We'll see. They're running to the south and they look battered and exhausted. You wave at them, trying to get them to slow down. It doesn't work. They run off to the south. And they're... Oh, and now they're gone. You're at the entrance to a trap cave. It's a big hole in the mountain left here to draw in your less intelligent variety of monster. Then row hunters can come by and slay them for glory and wealth. There are fresh human tracks in the slush leading into the cave. No tracks emerge. Enter the cave. You light a torch and search a tunnel. The passage doesn't extend into the mountain too far before it opens up into a chamber. You find 2 dead Lethan warriors. Examine them. These 2 hunters were too careless. They have been torn apart by something with fierce claws. As you start your search for anything of value, you hear something. Large, snarling creatures are approaching the tunnel entrance behind you. Several massive reptiles are returning from the hunt. You can understand why the Lethan hunters fell. They are way bigger than you thought they would be. Or are they? I mean, we've literally seen the same kind of creature before. Massive war lizard. Okay, that one might be new technically, but, you know, it's not really that much different. Okay, so this one actually has buffed itself, and we can dispel buffs. I've never actually used that yet, but tempted to give that a try. These are susceptible to poison? Yes, absolutely. On that case, we are just going to do this. We did poison all of them. That's what I'd like to see. Might as well rush toward this guy. Maybe prevent them from running too far forward. And they didn't. Awesome. Well, since we're not really planning to do any more fighting than just this one encounter, might as well not... Is this one enemy? The enemy target, huh? Yeah, okay. I was hoping that it would be circle targeted, but no such luck. I guess in that case, I didn't really need to debuff them, to unbuff them. We'll just rush forward. Okay, interesting choice of location, and he got back, knocked back immediately. All right. Maybe just shoot that guy. More poison? Yeah, I guess. Alright, taking some damage here, but not too bad. This guy is actually gonna die. Well, not immediately from poison. But yeah, let's save our good attack for that guy. You can do a brutal blow against that guy. No cleave. That was obviously one thing I hoped might happen. But we always have him. Actually, we're gonna play it safe and heal. Did not, unfortunately, get the free heal here. However, this lizard is now gonna die from poison, so, you know, good enough. Little shock. Okay, it buffs itself some more. Knocked back for some pretty heavy damage, actually. But okay. Obviously not a very tough encounter at all. The beasts are dead. You can search the cave at your leisure. Alas, the hunters have no sign of where they came from. Their equipment was torn to bits by the lizards. Their nest does contain a bunch of coins and stolen jewelry, which is nice. You also find a ceramic flask sealed with wax. Specifically, clarity brew. Awesome. That is very nice. Some jewelry? I guess that was just shorthand for more gold. Fair enough. I was wondering if I would actually get some sort of, well, trinket, of course. But no. What is this here? Is that something? These are not the ordinary beasts of the wild. Wait, oh, I ran into those things. Yeah, we should still be in decent enough shape to fight them, hopefully. They are magical constructs created by careless mages and let loose. They have been mindlessly wandering the woods, smashing things and looking for prey. Letting creatures like this loose is incredibly irresponsible. The Erodico are making you clean up their mess. Yep, sure enough. Slash brutes. Stone brutes. And fleet brutes. Alright. Nothing we haven't seen before, except the stone brutes might be new, but well, we'll see if they're even gonna be very different from the others. She's starting to run low on energy a little bit, so we'll see if we can't wait for these guys to gather up a little bit more. Oh, okay, those guys can teleport, basically. And evade our attacks. Of course they can. Oh, okay, stone brutes literally throw stones, which slow us, apparently. Interesting. You know what, I was hoping for a little bit more efficiency, but honestly that dealt tremendous damage to them. Well, to one of them. Yeah. That's pretty good. Gonna do one of these. Very nice, very nice. You can finish off that one. Very good. I'm not sure if you have a free line of sight there. Now you do. Maybe finish off the slash brute. Probably should have finished the other stone thrower. She immediately paid the price. Oh well. Nice one. Nice critical. Probably should have shot this one, huh? If I had really thought about it. But there we go. Easy enough. You can actually switch your weapon. And we're gonna do another group heal, because why not? Before we enter exit combat, that is. Save again. Now, I only wanted to look at this weird statue thing. This stone pylon, 30 feet high, is recent construction. Most of the base is still plain and blank. A few spots are etched with the names of recent Rokaj dead. I feel like we've seen something similar before. The pylon is completely missing defacement or graffiti. Dried flowers have recently been placed at its base. I wonder if that's part of some sort of quest that we don't have yet. So yeah, pretty sure we've seen a similar structure somewhere. Well, okay. I've discovered these areas, so we can quickly return to them whenever. And the timer is, suggesting to end the episode. However, I do want to take a look at this just real quick, because it's already discovered, and there's a chance that I'll forget that I have not actually visited it when I return. One of the more affluent clans of the High Letha, although that doesn't mean much, has a large compound here, staked out by a long wooden fence. When you enter, some of their warriors come out to greet you. They have heard of you, and surprisingly, they don't immediately hate you. You are invited in to warm yourself by the fire. Tea and a Spartan meal are offered. They are not wealthy or powerful folk. They have no treasure or quests to give. No quests, oh no. Still, it is a nice respite from the hostile wilds. Awesome. And another indicator that I'm doing things correctly, I guess? By and large? Oh, there are more of these things, huh? Well, not sure if they're all gonna give me a similar little text pop-up as the one just now, but okay. The small poor clans of the High Letha have built their humble halls along this road. When you pass by, gaunt, leather-clad folk come out to watch you. Your presence scares them. They're fierce and armed, but they have nothing to match your power. However, they sort of trust you. They don't invite you into their homes, but a few of them bring out tea and bread and sit with you by the fire. They don't have any valuable information, but they do give you a chance to warm your bones. Okay, very nice. I did come up here, huh? You know what? Might as well fight this single vapor rat? Okay, interesting. I guess I just hadn't seen rats wandering the overworld. That's why I didn't know what this was supposed to represent. Huh. This feels like there's gonna be something more happening here, right? Maybe not. Okay, weird. Let's not question it, I suppose. I mean, why wouldn't there be a single vapor rat just sitting out there in the wilderness for us to kill? It's not weird at all. Okay, well, we are still... Well, I guess I could... Actually, you know what? Since I am in need of a rest, I'm gonna return to the inn here and actually rest. Crazy, I know. I did pay for a room. Oh, you know, there is another person in there, which is kind of awkward, but I guess I was still allowed to rest. Not that I paid for it in the first place, right? I was offered it for free, so... Huh. Okay. Again, a little theft from the Daga. And that is because of the second fort we built there. I forgot that the game tells you somewhere that buying or building a second fort in any area increases theft chance by, I think, 20%. So we should try to look into reducing that a little bit more, but you know, it's fine for now. It's fine so long as we're not losing any quicksilver or iron, because that would cause problems. Okay, anyway, we were allowed to rest here. That's nice. Or I guess we just are allowed to rest there whenever we want to. Right, we have this bow to sell. I suppose I could do that just to free up some space for the upcoming expedition, because I am now going to... No, wait. Didn't I say I wanted to head to the foundry first? I guess I did, huh? Well, I guess I could do that. I could head on over there and deal with that first. And not worry about the Orovera claim quite yet. Yeah, that doesn't really make sense if I'm not planning to go there immediately. I can always just, you know, walk there when I'm actually planning to do that quest. Yeah, I suppose it does make more sense, doesn't it? Right. Well, in that case, I guess we're just gonna head back to the Arid Foundry and deal with, you know, all the things that are going wrong over there, that have gone wrong over there, and fix the Arid's messes once again. And hopefully get some quicksilver for it. So, as always, I thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and I shall see you real soon. Bye-bye.